We are into the game, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it there on your screen. Let's get things underway. So if you've just joined us, it has been a very long break between, but CLG.EU are starting off as the red team, and Team WE, aka World Elite, we call them WE, that's what we've been requested to call them. They are playing as the blue team. Team WE, of course, 1-0 up as that red side to begin with, and looks like, are we going to see anything crazy coming out? Wicked, of course, on Jace. He's going to be on you, Jat. He's going to be all over you, man, like a rash. He's going to be against Chow Mei in that top lane. So Shen versus Jace is something we saw at the EU Regionals. It did not go very well.
So the Shen is dropping the matchup, and here Wicked's actually running straight into Clear Love, trying to get that push. This is interesting.
He's trying to bait that one. He wanted to go for that aggression. You can see the laneways coming down. Clear Love's hit points being taken down. Jace managed to kill him. Messiah going straight in there. The pull, trying to slow things down. They poked up towards Snoopy. The taunt comes out. Can Snoopy get away? They got the ignite down on Snoopy, I believe. I think his hit points might drop. He's got the heal going. Crepo's going to get dropped. Wee Zhao picks up first blood. Froggen's going to get his sources. They're going to try and turn things around. Wee Zhao's going to be the target. Wee Zhao's on nothing. They flash. They get him. Froggen's got the laneways down. Yellow Piece also taken out very low as well. That's going to be Yellow Pete here, drop Clear Love. Wicked turns around, Wicked goes back in. Chow Mei's got to try surely get a taunt across, and it was a 2-1 death-defying exchange for both teams. Everybody going back home. That's the start we wanted.
Wow, and that was the first giant clash we've actually seen pretty much in this tournament. Let's take a gander at what got just eaten up in that fight. I'm lost for words. Lots of flashes. The bottom lane of CLG.EU is completely extended. No flash, no exhausts, no cleanses, any of that. Wicked used everything. The only flash remaining on CLG.EU is Frog, and he didn't use any summoner spells. Across the board on WE, Chow Mei still has his flash, Messiah still has Ignite, so pretty much there's still a flash on FCZF as well. Even summoner spell usage on both sides. I do have to give the quick advantage there to WE. They got the 2 kills as well as having more flashes up. So interesting level 1, crazy, crazy, crazy engagement. WE really slightly at the start of the game.
Yeah, with that slight lead. But you know, the assists actually spread across pretty evenly. The only person that didn't get anything there was Skarner. So Snoopy struggling out there. So the lane phase is beginning. The jungle invade never happened, which is actually better off for Snoopy to start with because he had so many problems in the first game. His jungle was invaded. He was in all sorts of trouble. So let's take us through this lane phase. Oh, down the bottom, I can see actually a dazzle there on Crepo. And look at how aggressive Wee Zhao immediately goes off the back of that one. Arcane shift into Mystic Shot straight away, ripping the points down of Crepo. Crepo, of course, he's going to be happy to take that. He's the man that's taking the damage. But let's go through the top lane. Jace versus Shen to begin with. We are seeing Snoopy making his way into that top lane. Let's just keep with the action a moment because he looks like he's going to try and hook onto Chow Mei. Of course, no ultimate available. We can definitely get the damage down. Has got exhaust. No, exhaust is not available because Wicked used it at the very start by the looks of it. So nothing's going to happen as far as I can tell. Snoopy is going to sit around though, so they want to bait Shen closer. But it's surely just going to be a dash away from that one. They are going to go aggression. There's the dash already used on. Are they going to get enough damage? They just want to force Chow Mei back, if anything. Force him to use something. Wicked is going to get knocked back. Use the knockback and just force him back. But he's not going to back off that one.
And he might just try to camp that. We've seen some really legendary camps by some of these junglers just staying in the brush for a really long period of time. That gank a little bit unsuccessful. They did not burn any of Chow Mei's summoner spells, so Wicked trying to get a lot of help up in that lane. His Jace does need to snowball the lane. We've seen the Jace versus Shen matchup. Jace generally very strong early on, and really the one I want to pay a lot of attention to is Messiah against Froggen in here, because the last time his Froggen was slowed down by Messiah's Orianna, what's he going to do against Vladimir? Vladimir's so versatile, sometimes going top or mid. The mid Vladimir much more about aggression since his pool can take him so close to his tower, he's able to push up and harass without much recourse. Now we see a gank coming up by Clear Love top lane. Will they be able to turn it around on Wicked?
Clear Love going in, he has got double buff available. Wicked on full health though. Full health and full mana. He's actually going to walk straight round into him. Does manage to get through the accelerator gate, which creates... Oh, the fear turns him against him. Oh, but the dash, the taunt misses. Wicked might be able to get out of this one. No, the ignite tick should go down. Chow Mei picks it up. That's 3-1 and a successful gank in the top lane.
And that just hurts so bad because his flash was burned at level 1 and it made him not escape. Chow Mei saving it, getting the flash in to create that kill. They knew the summoner spell cooldowns and they took advantage of it before it would be back. when Nocturne gets his first successful gank, that is so dangerous, especially for the bottom lane, because his gank's bottom, once that paranoia darkness comes up, is so scary.
So Froggen back in that mid lane against Messiah. And we've seen a Vlad mid last time. He's definitely always going to try and interrupt Froggen. He's not going to let him sit and farm. Is that just Froggen baiting him though with the lay waste? I think he may well have been. And Messiah, we saw Vlad mid, and they struggled early on. I'm trying to think who it was against. I'm sure someone with the stats would be able to tell me, but it was definitely a struggle for Vlad mid.
I can't remember. It's
against,
Messiah
especially
already
against Karthus.
Is down in minion kills. I think Vladimir should be able to get aggressive on him, however, especially Messiah. I don't see that being a bad matchup. He can pool under and even dodge the Karthus ultimate in the right situation. I think he can. I should actually know that. I'm sorry, guys. We'll see it the first time it happens. Snoopy trying to clear his jungle up here now.
Well, we said
no disaster for Snoopy early, though, is the great thing. Last game, he was very far behind early on. This game, he is sticking to it, even though he hasn't pulled off a successful gank yet.
Clearlove in the bottom lanes, snuck his way into that bottom bushes, waiting to get that gank. We did say, the fact that we knew it was going to be a kill lane. When you pick a Nocturne, you are going to go for kills. So far, Clearlove, it's worked out for him. He's not got his ultimate available just yet. He's some way off. In fact, he's a full level experience off that one. But I don't think Yellow Pete and Crepo are going to be nervous. They're not going to push out for this one. But Wei Xiao, already with the kills early on, 1-0 at the moment, went for the cloth actually early on. So instead chose to go with that. There we go. Clearlove's going to go in, and Yellow Pete, well aware of that one, just backs out. Very successful in avoiding the damage. 6.5 minutes gone into this game. 3-1 already to Team WE. Snoopy returns to lane, covering off Froggen. Froggen now has hit level 6, so ultimate will be available should they require it. Of course, don't forget the Shen at the top has also just hit level 6, so we could see those crazy four-man dives. Wicked's going to go aggressive on Chow Mei here. He's going to force him back. You know he's going to go back to that tower. Has he got the damage to finish him off, though? Forcing Chow Mei just to back away, but he didn't burn anything. Chow Mei actually doesn't have flash, doesn't have ignite available just yet.
Something Wicked really needs to do in this lane is keep Shen low and keep him harassed. Also stay close to him. If he keeps his E knockback for when Shen tries to ult, he'll prevent him from coming into these fights. So he needs to keep the pressure up. It's difficult when you get first blooded there, but even with that, he's up 9 minions on him, harassing him out of that lane. You can see Chow Mei, very defensive, smart build here. Ninja Tabby and a double Doran shield. And here, potentially, we could see something bottom. Snoopy gets caught up with a ward.
FZZF literally walked into that tri-bush. He face-checked it first. If it had been a split-second difference, he would have gone straight into it with Snoopy and Crepo right there, ready and waiting. Of course, Snoopy is still not to hit 6, has had Nocturne, so neither could have used their ultimate to get in there. As it is, keep my eye. Where is Vlad going? Vlad's just going to ward out that river. So Snoopy, they are 3-man stacking on this bottom lane. This is an unusual move from CLG. So Snoopy is hanging around here. Is he waiting to get 6 and try and draw something out, or is he basically baiting them to maybe make an attack here?
That was a curious choice. I think he was just trying to get to level 6 as fast as possible. He knew his side of the jungle was already down, so he was just trying to leech as much experience as possible. He needs to be level 6 because clear level's level 6, and the Shen plus Nocturne ultimates can come in at any moment. Snoopy has to be very guarded near lanes, and in order to actually be there to defend his team, he needs that Impale, and he has to get there soon. So much of his farm is deferred to Froggen. Froggen's taking the race. He'll get this level 6 here. We need to be very careful until Snoopy gets near one of their members.
So Clearlove picking up the red buff of his own. Oh, Wicked taken very low in that top lane. The Ignite was available for Chow Mei. I feel he could have pushed the pressure there. But now, that means Snoopy is going to pick up the red of his own. Froggen comes around, gets that lane tax, does pick up his own race. That's something we saw Messiah was really dealing with in game 1 and 2. Not to confuse things, I guess I could call it 2.1 or something, I'm not too sure.
So Clearlove is actually going to take more farm than other junglers. Nocturne is very much about getting farmed. He can't defer nearly as much as something like a Skarner can. This gank is potentially coming in from bottom because they know Snoopy's up top, so they know there cannot be a counter gank. They get any kind of Taric stun, they're going to be going in hard, but he's sitting on a ward. Taric is.
Yeah, that top lane, Shen Jace has returned to lane this time, so Wicked choosing an unusual approach there, I think it's safe to say. Berserker Greaves and Vampiric Scepter.
Which is really odd on Jace because Jace's W gives him 3 hits at max attack speed, so generally no one builds attack speed on Jace. He's very much looking for sustained and harass, but honestly, I don't know what he's going to do against Chow Mei's Shen build because that is so solid. With the double Doran shield, all the armor that gives him combined with the Ninja Tabby and being a resourceless champion, I don't think Wicked has the mana to out-harass Chow Mei, I really think Wicked's in a lot of trouble here.
He's just going to try and farm it out, which you would expect is his standard approach. Meanwhile, down that bottom here, the Taric Dazzle going on towards Yellow Pete. Not a great deal to do from it. Corki, of course, very versatile. Messiah getting caught out by the wall of pain there. Froggen going aggressive. Messiah trying to lifesteal his way through it, but the more damage coming out from Froggen had got Snoopy waiting in the wings if he was required. So again, this top lane fight, as you talked about it, Wicked there, just wanted an exchange with Chow Mei, coming out worse off from it by the seams of it. Snoopy now with that Oracle is going to clear out, spot that one just above Messiah. Messiah's going to try and put the damage. Nocturne ultimate going on towards Messiah on Snoopy. Snoopy just flashes away. So Splash Burn and the Vlad ultimate was used up there. They really wanted to get that Nocturne, that Oracle down.
But keep track here. They did manage to burn his flash, and Snoopy is still very squishy. The Nocturne ultimate will be up before Snoopy's flash. So the next time he tries to clear a ward with an Oracle's and the Nocturne ult is up, that Nocturne ult will kill. There's a lot of aggression going down bottom. Actually, get the stun ult.
FCZF is in trouble. They're not going to have the damage. Snoopy is close. Oh, they got the damage, surely. No, he just popped a heal and said, thank you very much. Chow Mei also ignited down the bottom lane. It's not going to be enough. Wicked, that often happens when Transcends from the Karthus ultimate coming out multiple lanes will try different things. They'll try and push their advantage. Snoopy trying to get a peek in there, of course. Nothing coming from it, though. And CLG look like they're going to try and force the Dragon off the back of this one. They know that Team WE all have to back off.
Good play by CLG.EU. Wicked interrupting the Shen ultimate, but the Shen ultimate saving from the damage. This is going to pull them back into it. Despite the 3-1 disadvantage early, they farmed in lanes, they've stayed even, and now they're pulling up in the gold. This is CLG.EU trying to get back in the game.
CLG.EU grinding it back out. They seem to have dealt with those problems very well. In terms of CS, they are up in the top. They are, I'd say, up in the mid, but it's only 3 difference, but they are down again. Wei Zhao really proving to be a problem for Yellow Pete in that bottom lane. 114 CS to 81. Big difference already.
And that's a lot of the Taric being fearful to Krepo's Sona. Sona's very vulnerable if people can get right on top of them, and they've been staying far enough out of harassment range before they want to hard engage, and it's done very well for them to just keep them slightly zoned. Corki's Valkyrie has a very long cooldown, so if he Valks away from one stun, he has to play super passive until his Valk's up again, and I think that's the play pattern they've been creating in the bottom lane to allow Wei Zhao that minion lead.
Messiah farming up. Something interesting with the builds. Immediately we've seen a Haunting Guise coming out from Vladimir. This is something we saw in Poland quite a bit.
It's just a stacking Magic Pen build. He's going to be going Sorc Shoes, potentially an Abyssal Scepter later, and your damage gets closer and closer to true damage if you can take someone to 0 magic resist. You look at Froggen, he's only got 30 MR, so with that Haunting Guise, he's already dealing true damage.
Oh! Yellow Pete, the Ezreal ultimate is not going to catch him, just about flicks past. Thought about going for it, backed away, tried to take it. Froggen picking up the blue buff there, but Yellow Pete already taken low. Is he going to be able to sustain and stay in that lane? He has got Sona, of course, with him, and now Snoopy is just coming up to protect it. Again, I don't think they're going to go for anything here. Snoopy, at the moment, Skarner has not been able to pick anything up, whereas Nocturne also getting involved, has picked up a kill, or an assist I should say.
And Snoopy has really just been trying to dissuade World Elite from doing anything here, going into the lane and showing yourself. You're not trying to set up a counter gank at that point. You're just trying to make them not want to do anything. He gives up a lot of position, but it goes to what CLG is trying to do right now, which is very clearly stalled. Oh, there's a gank up top.
It's up, and it's going to be Wicked. Wicked surely going to go down from the back of this one. Chow Mei will pick it up. No, Clearlove stole it away. The jungler picking up the kill. That's fine. They're going to pass it out, and honestly, that was such a clean executed move, and Wicked had no chance.
He didn't even get to burn his flash. He was taunted into the Nocturne Fear, and they actually see Snoopy with that Oracles, but there's no Nocturne ult left, and he's just going to have to concede his jungle here to Nocturne with a 2-level advantage.
2-level advantage, and Clearlove just picks it up, walks away. Snoopy knew that the Golem was going to get left, so he goes back in and clears it out. Froggen's going to pick up the race, and he's going to walk straight to Clearlove actually, but he does manage to put it down. He is on the red buff. Is Snoopy aware of this one? Froggen will have spotted him there. Wall of Pain goes across. Has he got enough to try and take on Clearlove? I think he just wants to force him away, if anything, and make sure and just defend that red buff. He's going to be well aware of it. Of course, Vladimir had gone to pick up the Wolves, so he was not anywhere in the vicinity to try and help out on that one.
And if you really look here, Messiah keeping up with Froggen and then some 148 to 147, just doing work on Vladimir. One of the few people who can actually keep up with Froggen's farming ability, just really trying to counteract CLG's playstyle as much as they can. They did it last game. by being almost more passive, more tanky, and beating them at their own game. And even again here, while they do have the early aggression with the Nocturne ganks, at least in mid lane, Messiah not roaming, doing very well to make sure he does not allow Froggen to pull ahead of him.
As it stands, 15 minutes gone. It is 4-1 in terms of kills. No one really getting close to affecting the turrets either. Very much playing into the hands of CLG.EU for the long game. And honestly, I feel that Team WE, with this 4-man dive strat they've got, they need to try and make it count as much and hard as they can in the lane phase.
So now that Nocturne ult is close to cooldown, the Shen ult is back, that 4-man dive becomes again available, and there's a 4-man dive for CLG. Might happen right here.
Yeah, they're going to go in towards Messiah. They do hook him up before he gets the pull. He will pull out the back of this one, gets Crescendo, still get there, and really great work from Clearlove to completely defend against that one. Messiah was kept pretty much paralyzed for a long period of time there, but he just got in front of it and managed to stop the damage coming out from Yellow Pete. Wicked, meanwhile, trying to burn down this top turret.
They did have to burn the Shen ult, but Clearlove's Nocturne ultimate is still available. Snoopy has his flashback, the Oracle has got Wicked got the tower, good push. Now Chow Mei and Nocturne looking up, and they have a deep ward, they saw him coming in.
So, aggressive stuff now coming out. Is it going to be a bloodthirster straight away on Jace here? He has got that BF sword to go with those boots he picked up earlier. Meanwhile, Skarner's just going to build as tanky as possible. Skarner's going to be that frontline damage that goes in, and effectively they're going to play it like a double AD strat. And you can see that is why Wicked's now starting to actually put pressure on Chow Mei there with just the basic attacks.
Those are the Berserker's Greaves coming into happiness right there. He has the red buff as well, which is just allowing him to train him down more and more. Getting him pushed back a bit, despite Wicked having 2 deaths, he's taken the tower. He has 125 minions to Shen's 111. He is holding his own up there. Both the mid lane and the top lane are actually very, very even. Even the 4 kills that WE has taken are counteracted by that tower and Dragon Gold, so a good stall so far by CLG.EU.
Good stall so far, and that's what they want to do. Messiah not. I mean, he's causing problems for Froggen, but he's not slowing the farming. They're both keeping even, though Snoopy again going to get caught out. Flash will be available in the exact same situation. Snoopy has to flash away. The Ezreal ultimate was going up there the river. Does manage to catch across them, but again, flash burn for Snoopy. It means he's not going to be able to be too aggressive until line is back available.
Really, the exact same moment, as you said. Now goes back, gets that ward. Nocturne ult still on a long cooldown. Once again, they really want to get that Oracle's down, and Snoopy's done a good job staying alive and playing safe when his flash was down.
Dragon,
They're clearing the ward here at Dragon. They have the timer on it. It's immediately up. But WE knows they do not have Nocturne or Shen ultimates here. Even the Ezreal ultimate is down. CLG has all of theirs as well. So if there is a fight here, this would be one for CLG.EU to take.
Yeah, they want to force it. Wicked is there, of course. There's the acceleration gate. Can they try and catch someone out? Or can they just turn this into a straight, flat push on the turret, which CLG seem to be doing? It's going to force Team WE to come up river, straight past that ward coverage. So that's going to be a wave pushed into
W's trying the dragon.
CLG going to come around, though. There is the dragon. The dragons are already down to half health, and they forced it to reset. CLG aggression coming in. Snoopy's going to clear out that ward he's sat on top of. And remember, there is no flash for Snoopy, but that acceleration gate will give him that extra speed to be able to get in and hook someone.
WE is trying to hold this one off right now. They're waiting for their ultimate cooldowns to come back. Ezreal's is back. Chow Mei's is almost close. They are pressuring mid, but right now WE is just trying to buy another 20 or so seconds. They're going bottom lane for a tower push. They're going to get that. They're going to concede, but it's going to be a tower trade.
It is going to be a tower trade. The question is, will they continue trading? It's not really the tower trade that CLG were looking for. They were quite happy to take that mid one, but didn't really want to lose that bottom one. Weijia was there. And again, CLG getting in position. They're going to pick up the blue before they go dragon this time around. They've got to be careful. So Froggen's going to come around. He's going to get the blue before this fight begins. Again, ward clearance begins. Very, very much cat and mouse this one. There's Weijia with the ultimate going across, and Weijia's going to back away. He's got to be careful. There's a ward right there. Hasn't going to spotted him in the bush. They won't know he's gone back. They're going to show him. And Shen going up to the top as well. COG going to be giving this dragon.
But WE is going to take that top tower. Chow Mei has went all the way up. They pushed the bottom lane with the Ezreal ulti because they're just trying to deny CLG as many minions and his gold as possible while still giving them the dragon. Another dragon for CLG.EU. This is really the stall that they actually need. So WE's decision to just kind of split push and trade really just extends the game here, and that's good work by CLG.EU getting the second dragon for them.
That's going to be the second turret for WE. Actually, Jace now up that top lane. If we can look at the top lane, please. You can see that Wicked is going to come in there. Not quick enough, though. Chow Mei will take the turret down. And blue buff being given to Weijia.
That is an interesting choice, actually, but I say interesting too much, I think, D-Man. But we have Shen
Oh,
and
a
Vladimir in
flash.
the solo lane. So there he comes in, right for Wicked.
And we just saw Froggen flash out there. Wicked's had to use his flash as well. Froggen flashing away from the potential dazzle. He was so cautious. That means his flash is going to be down. Not too big a deal on Karth, especially now we're moving into a more of a mid-game phase. 20 minutes gone into this match. Still just 600 gold between the two teams. Very much aggressive stuff here from Team WE. They're going to try and push this top lane. There's the Ezreal ultimate clearing out the bot lane, which you can see Corki is on. Yellow Peak trying to push that bottom turret. There goes the ultimate, actually catching the entire creep wave, stopping him out. Messiah going to come around, the Ghost coming on, they're going to dive in. Crescendo though, back towards the tower, the course, the Alpha's ultimate is not going to be enough. Oracle's going to get burnt now, Snoopy goes down, Crepo goes down. Team WE cleaning house here for CLG, and Wicked just trying desperately to defend it. Oh my word, FCZF nearly got caught out by the backside of Wicked there, and they're going to come around. Froggen is there, the wall of pain should come around. He's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out too heavily though. He's going to surely get dropped eventually. There's the Shen ultimate on to clear off. He will get taken down. He's going to try and put a couple of layways down. He can't catch hold of Messiah. Yellow Pete in the meantime is just getting a free farm in the bottom, but that was 3 kills given to Team WE.
It really isn't that much of a disaster, though, because look at the gold toll after this. It's still only a 1,000 gold lead. They didn't get the tower despite getting those 3 to 4 kills on the dive, and CLG.EU did. Also, Yellow Pete is going to be able to steal this red buff away, so when all is said and done, that absolute aggression by WE didn't actually gain them all that much. To get back very early, Weezao getting the blue buff there. Oh no, he might have missed the red buff here. He's got it, but now he's in trouble.
But the dazzle came out already. FCZF used the dazzle to try and get the kill, and Yellow Pete is safe. 7-1 in kills, 3-2 though in turrets to CLG. 22 minutes gone into this game, very much a lively one, and I think there's a lot of time to be going in this game yet. Crepo, the poke comes out, and that Crescendo, we saw how big a part he can play in attack and defense, and they're going to have to use it again here. He's not available just yet, and they're going to lose out in this mid turret. It's going to be 3-3 in turrets. Team WE confident they can go for that one. Messiah in the meanwhile stealing away the wraiths, and Team WE continue on. There is no blue buff to steal, which is where they're heading now, and how is CLG going to react to them?
They're going to continue to try to stall. They're keeping the turrets very even, and this is something that World Elite has to close out. The onus is on them to finish this one. Nocturne and Shen will not be as strong if this game just, well, Shen will, but Nocturne is going to have trouble assassinating as it gets later and later. Froggen's Karthus powers up really high. The Crescendo dance duration gets more and more impactful as the fights finish. CLG.EU putting their stall game on. They're down 7 kills to 1. But they're right in control of what they're doing right now.
They're right in control. The gold difference is only 1,700 gold. Not that great when you're considering it's at 30,000 plus. So, how do you see the item builds going? We can see Bloodthirster already on Jace. Meanwhile, Shen has obviously got that Sunfire Cape already built up there. Looks like a Wit's End probably going to come out next from Chow Mei. How do you spread it across the board? And obviously looking at Vlad compared to Karthus as well.
So looking at Messiah right now, when he gets that death cap, the magic pen is going to crush down. Normally, the magic pen build from Vladimir is more successful against teams that don't go. Oh, big fight down by Weezao.
Big fight, bottom lane, Weezao diving on towards Yellow Pete. He's got now to it, and Yellow Pete realizes the goose is cooked. Weezao's going to take him down. And a 1v1 fight. Weezao very strong and picking up the red buff off Yellow Pete.
Just stead in that bush, got the ultimate to start the fight, catching Yellow Pete completely by surprise, and with that Trinity Force, he just got the Phage procs and trained through. This is the pressure WE needs to apply here. They have Shen split pushing in the top lane. His ultimate's back in a couple seconds. The other 4 are pushing down the bottom turret. CLG.EU has to really try hard to stall here. Wicked's going to try to stop Shen from coming in, but the other 4 are probably going to get this turret uncontested.
Yeah, that turret definitely going down. FCZF going around the backside. Wants to try and maybe open things up with a dazzle. The ping came down. They were aware of his situation. They back off, but the blue has spawned just at the right moment. And of course, they're going to go in there. Wicked versus Chow Mei, though. Wicked had to knock Chow Mei away there. I think Chow Mei's going to come out
really
on top
careful.
of this one. He's got to be very careful with this one. He's going to use the acceleration gate. He will be able to get away. The taunt could come out, could get a full-length taunt here from Chow Mei. He's just about in range if he balances it. No, he's going to bait him instead. He's going to try and get towards the taunt. He's going to go down, and that's a straight 1v1 exchange. Chow Mei looking strong. You talked about it earlier, how much stronger he's going to be, and he really is dominating.
And this is trouble for CLG.EU because 2 members now just lost in straight up 1v1 against their adversaries. Yellow Peak got soloed by Weezhao, Xiao Mei soloed Wicked. So in a team fight, if those guys are stronger than you, what's actually stronger for CLG.EU? The Froggen Defile, if he dies in the right spot, and the Crescendo would be better than the Karthus or potentially some of the Vlad damage, but it's going to be really, really tricky. Losing those fights is making it harder and harder for them to turtle because the stronger they make WE, the harder it is to turtle those turrets, and dying 1v1 just cannot happen in this engagement.
And currently Snoopy only been able to get in and hook one person so far, so not being able to really express himself in the jungle. Dragon, now up. 5 minutes gone, of course we could be looking at Baron. Weezhao just farming away, and look at the difference between these two. 262 CS compared to 200. Again, massively out farming Yellow Pete, and just, well, 2,000 gold difference again, just like game 1. These are the differences we saw before, and Team WE were very strong in that game.
And Weezhao, along with the very new support FZZF, have done such a great job keeping him in these games. A farmed Ezreal is one of the scariest possible AD carries you can get, and this is really odd to me. He has an Aegis of the Legion on Ezreal, so he's actually going for Bruzy dueling. This might have been how he was able to take out Yellow Pete. They have a double Aegis, but that's in case of a Skarner pull, in case of a Crescendo, in case Jace jumps down on him. He's not going to die. He has enough resistances. This is the first time in a competitive setting I've seen that item built on an AD carry.
So we're looking like Baron is going to be started off by Team WE. No vision at the moment from CLG. You just saw it on your screen, so I have no idea this is happening. You can see CLG starting to close around. They're going to pull the ward down and go, God, we're going to have to react to this one very quickly. Immediately they do react. Team WE going to peel off of the side of this one, and CLG do force them back. That Baron was taken very low, though, below half health. I think you can see it's just nearly 5,000 hit points left on it, so CLG just about reacting in time. They're going to come around in towards the bottom lane. Can they force something off this one? They know that Ezreal is up the top. He's going to be teleporting back right now, so CLG going to try and drive home a 5-4 advantage.
And I'm just looking at this Ezreal. He has Ninja Tabi as well, so he's all about dueling. He's just countering up against the physical damage. He's almost a bruiser now with Blinks and an AoE ultimate, which is really crazy. I want to watch how these team fights break out as CLG.EU is now trying to push in. Taric initiates, really WE's initiates all have to be Flash Taunt from Chen or something. They don't have something nearly as strong as the Crescendo or the Skarner poke. So CLG.EU not in a terrible position here trying to shut down. As the game gets later, they might be able to pull it out.
Well, they're trying to poke comp, what we saw earlier on. And obviously it was from Team WE in the first game as well. They went very much with the poke, back and forward, back and forward. And you can see it just driving down the hit points. Clear love's there, FZZF. They may be able to get the turret off the back of this one. They've already forced Vlad back. Messiah's coming back now to lane. The turret already taken half the hit points. Weezhao now on the side there. They've got to be very careful to don't get caught out from that one. The ultimate already used so by Weezhao will be available very soon. That True Shot Barrage is very much on a quick cooldown. And there we go, CLG.EU again, just driving home and trying to chip away at this turret. And it seems to be working for them. The question is, have they left it a little bit too late? There's the conga line of minions coming in. Messiah, looks like Team WE want to go for this, and they want to try and pull something off the back of this one. And Yellow Pete very cautious in getting a couple of attacks on towards that turret.
And they've done a really good job, actually. Every member of their team has went back and shopped individually while the others held that turret. The fact they hadn't lost it yet is a testament to how well they're turtling here. They're just trying to get powered up before the next team fight. They're making sure their lanes are split pushing. They may just lose the tower here because Nocturne show top, or will CLG.EU be too scared of the Nocturne ult? Because an initiation could very well come out of WE here.
He's off the side. He was waiting for Nocturne, waiting for Clear Love to come back there. And very much aware of the fact that he couldn't be coming at the side and start initiating something there. So they all backed away from that one. Despite the fact the wave was there. The tower down to next to nothing here. Snoopy coming around, the Wraith being picked up, wards being used all over the map. Very much a poke game. They're just waiting for one team to make that small mistake.
It's still only a 4,000 gold advantage despite the 8 kill advantage. And here comes the team fight.
They're going straight in. There's the Vladimir ultimate. They managed to catch it across two members. Yellow Pete still though managed to avoid the damage. Froggen very low. And I think CLG should be able to avoid the damage off the back of this one. You can see Crepo is going to keep the speed up. There's the acceleration gate. They're going to try and push them right back in towards the turret. Are they going to follow it through? Wicked's going to try and beat them back. And I think, just like we saw Team WE, they're going to get taken one by one. Wicked's got to be very careful. You saw Clear Love and FZZF just up to the side there, trying to pick through. That's where we saw some crazy Blizzard hooks earlier on.
So now they're trying to poke back down. Even in the previous game when team fights were even, W would always try to push off the back of them. Now CLG.EU all having to go to shop. WE has a giant wave pushing in the bottom. They need to clear that out, otherwise they're going to take a tower. Someone's going to have to go back and finish that. That's going to give CLG some breathing room to try to get back here, and the stalling is working out very well. They're scouting the Baron buff here. This is really just CLG's classic stall.
Yeah, Wicked getting an attack on the Baron, causing MZZF to take the damage. That bottom lane wave has been dealt with. And we saw stealing away the blue buff as well on your screens. 30 minutes gone in this game, and it is a 5,000 gold difference. Team WE already 1-0 up, looking like they are strong favourites to make it into the semi-finals versus Azubu Frost, but do not rule CLG.EU out. Rule them out at your peril. Moscow 5 did it once, and they were on the back end of a hiding. And honestly, as it is, Team WE, they have the power, but they are just getting poked and driven back by CLG.EU constantly here. We've got to be careful they don't get caught out, like something like Weizhou right now, just taunting, flirting with Snoopy, saying, come on, hook me.
And now they're poking down the mid lane again. We saw it in the last fight. WE tried the full-on engage, and CLG could completely disengage. So right now, that's a good spot for CLG to be in. The fact that if they don't want to fight, they've proven they don't have to. They have enough disengagement, and WE doesn't have strong enough stick. So really, they get to pick their fights, even though they're behind a bit. The main force here for WE in that situation would have to be a Baron. You need to make CLG come to them. It's just with their lead being so minor here, only about 5,000 gold. Is that enough? Is it worthwhile to put yourself in the back of Baron? And they're taking that mid tower, closing it even closer.
Yes. Well, Team WE were nowhere near reacting to that one. So we're all squaring towers, 4-4. And that's Weizhou picking up the second blue buff. So he's taking them all. That's getting somewhat greedy, some might feel, but definitely going to have that one. The split push, of course, down the bottom, you can see Chow Mei. The dragon will be available any second, but Chow Mei just driving it home, continuing to push on. There comes Wicked to try and head him off. Just stop things. Which may mean they'll force something elsewhere. And wow, look at Wicked, you get the exchange coming out there. There is a huge creep wave, though, that Wicked would be able to farm off the back of. Froggen having to use that wall of pain to keep them at bay from Yellow Pete. And it's looking like a two-man Baron.
They're trying to do it here. They have FCZF, and Weizhou doesn't have a whole bunch of damage because of his very defensive build, but CLG.EU is trying to scout it. Looks like Snoopy's going to pop over with the ward, and this might not work out for them.
But he has put the ward down. Are they going to risk it? No. It's definitely a wise choice to back away from that one. But meanwhile, Wicked and Weizhou and Chow Mei, very much an even exchange now. You see the damage that he managed to put down on him. But again, Shen, he needs to keep him occupied. This is what he talked about. He needs to keep him busy, keep him fighting. That way he can't use his ultimate to come across. He can't get in there, and that's what prevented them. Instead, they're just going to pick up the dragon as a booby prize.
They have the pressure here, and that was a pretty good duel, actually, by Wicked. Shen's build has not quite progressed. Wicked's very squishy. The fact that he's not getting beaten by Shen anymore is a good sign for CLG. When he was getting 1v1'd earlier, that would be the end of it, because if you need to send 2 members for Shen, that pretty much just ends the game for you. Weizhou needs to get that last Whisper finished. He's went with an immensely defensive build thus far, and that might be hurting them slightly in these fights. Since CLG is all about disengaging and isn't actually fighting back, WE needs the all-out damage. If they want to create something to happen, they have to start getting aggressive with their item choices and with their play, because the longer this goes, I think the more comfortable CLG.EU becomes.
We're seeing a potential trouble coming out. Vlad could definitely go for a he's got the Rabbit on Zcap. He's going to go for the Azonia's Hourglass as well. See that other Nard rod in there. 282 CS to 297, so nearly 300 CS already for Froggen. We are a long way into it compared to the last game, though. They are collapsing in for that top turret. They do not want to allow another turret to go down. And actually, that's a bit more farm for Wicked there, 9,000. But you can see it's 1,000 gold difference to Shen. Looking at Froggen versus, well, Froggen's actually very much even in terms of gold, but still that huge gold difference is very much Weizhou versus Yellow Pete.
And that all that gold difference, as we see an initiation attempted on Messiah, he's going to disengage. That gold difference is all in the Aegis of the Legion, so damage perspective-wise, if they can keep Yellow Pete safe, he's got actually a little bit more damage than Weizhou right now. It's just, Weizhou's much, much harder to kill.
Well, they know that Weizhou is off the difference there. Are they going to try and choose that advantage? He did show himself. The ping's going down from... I think Team WE wanted to continue push now. I think they wanted Weizhou just to stay there. Instead, Shen's going to go across. They can keep that split push. Of course, if CLG were to try and force something at the Baron, he could easily just ultimate across and join the fight. as it is. Tarek got to be very careful. He wants to get in and put some wards down. CLG kind of in that back and forth position. They're not quite sure where they should go right now.
And WE, in my opinion, is also not quite sure where they want to go right now because they have not been able to force fights on CLG. And this is honestly starting to get a little reminiscent of the M5 versus CLG.EU game at DreamHack, just because they've only had one kill the entire game, but they're still in it and they're still stalling. And it's just a matter of WE has tried a few things to create action and just hasn't really worked. And they haven't committed fully to any of these things. They're waiting so long that by the time they actually fully commit, it could be the end of the game for them if they lose the fight. If I was them, I would try to get a little bit more aggressive right now, because if something fails now, you might have time to come back from it since the death timers aren't 70 seconds long yet. However, they keep waiting. They're hoping CLG.EU makes a mistake. But CLG.EU is one of the best stalling teams in the land. It's going to be very difficult for them.
So a Deathfire Grasp has just been picked up by Froggen on Carthus.
Deathfire Grasp is one of his favorite items, and this is just, if they try to initiate in on them, if Nocturne jumps on him, DFG's hitting him right away. And with how much ability power that is, it's going to be 40% of Nocturne's health almost straight away. That's a great item for Froggen's Carthus. He's going to be getting more magic penetration later, but that is not surprising. Really good build so far by Carthus, just powering up.
Yeah, on that top lane. He's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out. You can see that Snoopy heading up that way. Just going to clear the wave out. CLG doing a great job, but just like you said, just continuing just to hold, stall, farm out. And honestly, now we are looking at a massive late game. He's definitely getting to that stage again. Baron gets targeted there, and MCZF gets attacked. The Ezreal True Shot Barrage there going across the yellow feet, not doing a great deal of damage off that one. Obviously, the big difference is he did go for that tanky build.
Nocturne up top!
Nocturne up top, they're going to dive in towards Wicked. Wicked manages to knock him away. He has got the Ignite on, but that's going to be the turret damage going down there. He's got no support just yet. They are also triggering on Baron. Baron is going down as well, so Wicked is trying to keep them away from this inhibitor turret. Now we can look over Baron, please. You can see that CLG is starting to go in there. There's the Crescendo going across. That's going to be the Vladimir ultimate. Meanwhile, Wicked and Carthus is trying to force them away. That's going to be Froggen picking up the kill on Chowmei. The ultimate's coming across. Is it going to help Snoopy out? He's going to get the double kill off the back of it. He's taken down Nocturne. MCZF has managed to survive though, and Yellow Pete backs away from that one. Very much a close exchange, but it was a 1-for-2, and CLG coming out on top for the first time in that one. Very crazy fight.
You could see what WE's plan was there, was to distract everyone up top and then sneak the Baron, but CLG had the perfect counter for it. They stopped the Shen teleport as well as the Shen push bottom. That was an amazingly quick reaction by CLG, and they held off that ploy by WE. WE now going to be really struggling to find what to do next, because that's the second time they've tried to force something very hard, and neither of them have been successful. That one actually backfired a little bit.
And the tanking is starting to get going, build in towards the Frozen Mallet there for Wicked. So Wicked now with the damage and the tank. We're going to have a replay coming up of this one. Take us through it, Jack.
And here's the huge thing. Wicked waiting and waiting for Froggen to come in. The Baron's going on. They try to teleport in, but he knocks him back. And because he was looking at the other fight when he teleported in, because he was trying to get there, Wicked did a great job holding his knockback. The double kill then came out from Carthus. So Shen tried to be a global presence. Froggen was a global presence, and that's why CLG came out in that fight.
Of items being completed. Zonya's Hourglass with Messiah, we knew that one's being built. Force of Nature by Chowmei though. Infinity Edge also being picked up by Yellow Pete. And again, the Baron poke comes out there and they just force it away. Crepo doing a grand job of keeping them at bay.
It seems like WE does not want to try a full-on engagement at Baron. That's why they keep trying to sneak it with a couple people. They don't want to fight.
Crepo continuing to just aggress. Every time FCZF, he goes in to try and pick that Baron, he's just poking. Here he comes again. He's just going to queue on towards the Baron. I don't think he's going to be able to do it this time. Very cautious. He didn't get caught out by Wei Zhao. And the poke back and forward continued. So, late game. We're getting there. We are there. Who would you give it to in terms of a team fight right now?
The fact that CLG has stalled this long and they have the Carthus Sona, very good synergy. I do think CLG might actually have pulled ahead here just based on how long they've waited, and it shows in the play that WE has been trying to pull off. They're trying to split CLG up. They've had an opportunity, if they've wanted it, to put 5 men on Baron and then peel when CLG comes to stop them, but they haven't done that in the past 20 minutes, so there's no real reason for them to do it now. Really, it's so much patience by CLG and just know-how that WE can't force anything strong on them here. When Nocturne jumps in on these fights, he's going to get obliterated almost immediately. The DFG is going to come down and hit him. Corki now has more damage than Wei Zhao because he has not went for a defensive build. And if they can't directly jump on Yellow Pete, that tank build of Weezhou isn't going to come into any use.
Dragon being picked up by Team WE, and it's a 7k gold difference currently. Towers dead even, 4v4. Oh, they're going to try and catch on there. Throwing pressure down. Wall of Pain's on Messiah. Messiah getting shredded. The Vlad, I don't think he's going to catch away. Frogan gets the kill though. Can they turn this into something? Yellow P having to Valkyrie away there. Just about getting caught out, but CLG now going to try and push the advantage on. And the crowd definitely turning in favour. They're going to try to pick up the Baron off the back of this one. I'm not too sure it's a great thing to go for though.
They've waited so long. They have not made any moves. This is their move. They got the pick onto Vladimir. They may as well just try this. Shen's trying to split push. They're going to force him to come in. They are going for this. Or they're going to peel. Wicked's behind the side.
They're going to peel. Frogman looks like he wants to catch it. He's caught the Wall of Pain. He's going to go for FCZ. FCZ's going to get dropped down. Clear up. Meanwhile, there's the Shadow Ultimate. He comes in. Weezhou still off to the side, giving the damage. That's the Hawk from Subi. Clear up goes down. Double kill again for Frogman. Now they can turn to Baron in safety and surely pick it up.
They're still potentially going to try to stall, but that was an amazing peel. They got the carb swell down. They have the initiation. WE clearly does not, because they are not fighting on their own terms here. CLG.EU trying to get it. Ezra's going to try to come in and steal with his ultimate, but that is not even going to be close. That was for harass. Here comes CLG.EU now. The stall has happened 40 minutes into the game. They've gotten 5 of the last 6 kills. They're in control.
Yellow Pete's going aggressive there. He wants to catch out Weezhou. I'm not too sure if Weezhou is actually sticking around, you know. He wants to still get aggressive on this one. Look at the damage he's still trying to put out to them. Not too sure that's the wisest thing in a 2-on-1 situation, but they do manage to harass. They've taken the inhibitor turret there. Very nicely done by Chow Mei. Picking up off the back of that one. There's a flash comes out. That's a cleanse. I think that was a quick silver slash actually from Weezhou there, but Snoopy might be able to hook onto him. Instead, they spot in the middle of Messiah coming round. Messiah's trying to close in. Yellow Pete, he's had the ultimate down on Messiah. How much damage will that take up? Oh, that chunked him down, but it was not to be. They pulled off at the right moment.
Now the counter aggression is potentially on. It seems like WE is a bit lost though. Their disorganization in these last few bits have cost them. They're now trying to regroup. They need to keep their composure. That delay may have put them a bit on tilt. They haven't been able to finish this here. They get another turret, so the gold advantage is still in their favor, but CLG has the Baron buff. They are still up inhibitors. Having that inhibitor open does give WE some access to the base, but they lose team fights at this point. This has been shown, so CLG actually in control despite the positioning on the map.
Yeah, and we often say that Baron is worth around about 8,000 gold, which actually in terms of this at the moment, if they were to force a fight, would definitely give them the advantage. But Team WE really driving home a bit of a lapse of daisicalness from CLG. So, you know, the big advantage they picked up off of the back of that, Team WE have responded and picked up 3 turrets after the Baron was taken.
It really seems like CLG was low on health and mana and wanted to buy, and WE had all respawned right after the Baron takeoff. Now they're pushing up mid, WE trying to get back. And this is such a great position for CLG to be in, because WE can't necessarily engage the crescendo. Such a good stop. They have the acceleration gate from Jace. They have the slowing wall from Froggen. Complete control. They will fight on CLG's terms. If they want to poke the tower, they will. If W wants to fight, they can't.
They need to try and get in there early. Now Team WE though have responded, and the poke again from CLG should be strong. We saw it earlier on when they took that middle in a turret, and you can see the poke going back. FZZ taken completely down there. Weezhou though, the tankiness showing through there. You can see he's just going to life steal it back. All that damage that goes out. We saw how strong Messiah's ultimate was when he caught onto towards Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete's got to be very, very careful he doesn't get caught out by that this time. Has got no magic resistance also. Anything from Messiah would definitely be very painful for Yellow Pete.
The thing with Froggen here is all of CLG kills are concentrated on him. He is close to maxed out on items. If there's a big fight here, he's going to be the one dying, and they would actually have to be fairly careful. The steal coming through by Weezhou. Very nice ultimate.
Very, very nice stuff from Weezhou. We've seen a few of those this tournament as well. It's definitely a move that a lot of players have been making use of. Oh, CLG going to continue pushing here. Team WE a little bit out of position. Are they going to collapse around them? I'm not too sure. Team WE has been known to collapse on opponents before and make it work. And instead, we're seeing Wicked using the acceleration, poking out. And I think Team WE are going to be able to respond and close back in. There is a creep wave on the bottom pushing in for CLG. So they're going to have that available to switch to in a few moments if they don't quite get the poke on this turret that they want. Yellow Pete, you can see, just putting a couple of those rockets out, trying to keep poking, but Weezhou is too tanky and the lifesteal's coming out too strong. All the pain, not going to be able to do a great deal. They are going to drop the creep waves, but honestly, Team WE are reacting very quickly. Expect them to rotate down to that bottom lane for that big creep wave.
And WE really needs to trick CLG into fighting in a bad spot, because they've been in this situation for so long, have not been able to initiate anything. CLG's experience really coming in huge here. Most teams, when you're down 1-0 in a tournament and then 9 kills to 1 in the next game, you would give up. But CLG.EU was in complete control, and now they're poking down this turret really hard.
They realized that Wei Zhao had backed off, and suddenly they took that advantage and shredded the turrets. Bottom turret now gone down. Minions did it themselves on that bottom lane. It's 7-5 in turrets, and that gold gap gets ever shorter. Just 5,000 gold now. We were at about 8,000 at one point. And again, this is what we talked about. Do not rule CLG out. Once they get to that late stalled out game, they generally know what they're doing. This is in their territory right now, and Team WE are up against it.
And this is the team play. The most experienced teams seem to be better in team fights and the late game. We saw it earlier. WE has 2 new members, so a lot of times you can get your early game coordination because so much of that is laning and individual skill, and you can prep for the first 20 minutes of the game. But once it breaks down, once all the towers are there, once everyone's roaming around as 5, it really matters how much experience you have together. And CLG.EU, with the trip to Korea, with the gaming house, knowing each other since the game launched, playing together in Europe, they are showing how coordinated they can be because they have come back from a very big disadvantage, stalled extremely well, kept their cool, and they team fight like champions.
I think it's safe to say we're in the longest game of the tournament so far. 45 minutes gone in this one, 10-6 in kills, and the creep score of the opponents is definitely getting very high. 433 CS for Wei Zhao. Meanwhile, Yellow Pete on 335. That goal difference is 3k difference, but that's not such a big deal right now because those end builds are starting to come out. So while we're talking about it's a 3k goal difference, which in itself is big, if you look at the items, you can see he's got the Trinity Force, the Infinity Edge, the Guardian Angel, which is a big key thing. It's something we saw Moscow 5 obviously generally relying on. However, you look at Wei Zhao, if he can be allowed to do all the damage, he's got a hell of a lot of it. Bloodthirst, the Trinity Force, Last Whisper, Quicksilver Sash to escape, Aegis the Legion to defend. He is very, very strong come a team fight.
And it's just a matter of the team fights aren't coming for him because CLG is unengageable in a lot of ways. This was potentially won at Champion Select if CLG.EU can take it down. Shen trying to sneak a split push on the inhibitor.
He's going to backdoor the inhib.
He's definitely going to try. This is their gambit because they know they can't get team fights. If they can somehow sandwich CLG between them, then maybe they can create something. He's actually having to fall back because at this point Wicked may have built enough damage that Shen can no longer duel him.
Yeah, he definitely has to back off, go for the lane. Well, the Baron buff will be wearing off shortly, but CLG have made use of it. They've taken one of the turrets, the inhibitor turret, down to absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, obviously, CLG's inhibitor turret on the bottom lane is gone. It is very, very close between these two. Baron's up in 30 seconds, which is why we're seeing CLG backing off. They are going to farm up, make sure they're fully prepared for this next Baron fight. And you can see Team WE have already backed off as well, so they're getting prepared for it. So the next fight is definitely going to be a game changer.
This is going to be the turning point really for both teams because previous Barons have been world elite, poking around and having the advantage while trying to split push, but this time it's now CLG.EU who has the upper hand. You don't see it in the gold, you don't see it in the kills, but you see it in the way the teams are playing because all of the pressure and control is in the hands of Froggen's team. So here they're poking down. The Shen split push is now forcing something. It's going to be a matter of CLG having to force something or send him back because otherwise they're going to lose this backdoor inhibitor.
He's on the inhibitor. Shen is going to be working on it. We can see CLG going to push their own inhibitor. Shen's going to have to react. He's going to try and steal that inhibitor, then ultimate back. Here we go. There they go. The turning point comes in. CLG were well aware of that one. They managed to knock Lilo back. Snoopy's in there, trying to look at all the action going on. Yellow Pete's going to get taken down very low. Messiah's going to get in there. Pops the ultimate across the inside. See the crescendo comes across. The Zonia's hourglass from Pop. CLG are dropping like flies on the back of this one. Team WE are definitely coming out on top. There's the Carlos ultimate though. Should be able to come back out. Doesn't pick up the kill. Messiah and Wicked in there. But Chow Mei comes back. Guardian Angel comes back. He takes down Crepo just the last one. Crepo manages to get the kill. Yellow Pete very low. Chow Mei should be able to get a taunt on him. He's got the help of his support. Ever the support is there. And it's a 3-on-4 exchange. CLG coming out on top. More importantly, the AD carrier alive. And they're going to take that inhibitor down.
The first big play there by CLG.EU, pushing into the base. The fans chanting CLG behind us. Everyone's going to be rezzing after this. They can't go for a two-man Baron. The one inhib for the other. Shen, Chow Mei's trying to push back a bit. That inhibitor, still full health. He could not get very started on it.
Could not get started on it, but Chow Mei definitely farming up like a pro. But yeah, he couldn't get involved in it. We're going to see a replay of the last fight. Jat, take us through that craziness.
This was a crazy extended fight. So much of this was WE.
Walk out, we need blast. I'm going for Vlad this side.
I'm running on Vlad.
I'm going for Vlad. Vlad. I have HQ.
We need Ezreal dynamiting. I can't kill this. I cannot kill this.
Kipper is.
He's down. Yes.
Shen. Tarek.
Send him.
Kipper top P.
You need to hit him. You need to hit him.
Peach.
Nice. Yes. Get in him. Get in him. Get in him. Get in him. You can live steal. You can live steal.
You can see what it means to these teams. They are very much passionately involved in this game. And that was a pretty crazy fight.
There was so much going on. You could actually see the target calls coming out, potentially a bit confusing. They were calling Tarek when he wasn't even close to the battle. They were maybe not fully coordinated there, but they still came out on top. That was the first time WE actually initiated. They got the Shen toss onto multiples, and that was the only brawl we've really seen in this entire 50-minute game. But because they came out on top of that, they managed to drop tank Weezhou. He's now abandoned the tank build, went for full Infinity Edge Glass Cannon, now much more damage. CLG trying to clear wards around the Baron area. They're scouting with that Ezreal ult, trying to help with the blue buff. And ooh, Messiah had to take that away. This is going to be really, really game deciding, the next big fight, because the death timers are huge. And if we don't see another crazy trade of 4 members alive on both sides, something will end.
A good chunk of damage going in towards Clearlove and Xiaomei's face there as they walk straight headlong into that bush. The acceleration gate, bunch of shots there. Look at that. Weezhou's been lost a bit of health. He's going to be able to life steal that back, but CLG definitely poking down at Team WE. They have no vision of that Baron at all. No vision what CLG are doing. So every time, every attempt they try and make to try and squeeze those wards in there, there's only one ward available now to Team WE. They're almost out of wards. They're going to have to go blind into this fight. FCZ, you can see, he really wants to get that ward in, but he's so careful he doesn't get hooked out. That wall of pain, the acceleration gate, if every time they go close, they're getting a burst of damage in their face.
This is just CLG controlling here. They might catch out Clearlove here. They're going for it.
They're going for Clearlove. Has he got him? Yes, he does. Clearlove's going to get dropped down here. He's going to try and use his ultimate to go and get away. It is not going to happen. Rogan picks up the kill off the back to this one. CLG now in a 4-man advantage. Going to turn it back to Baron. They're not going to drive it home, which is a wise choice. There's a huge creep wave on the bottom inhibitor turret right now for CLG. If you just look down there, look at that. That's going to work the damage. They're going to have to deal with it. Team WE have backed off this one. It's going to be a Baron for CLG.
A free Baron here, 52 minutes into the game. They're pulling ever closer to that gold, but the gold does not matter for CLG right now. People are at max item build. They have the better late game team comp, and more importantly, they stick together. They have not been getting picked off. WE has been getting picked off. They're pushing down these turrets now. What is going to be able to stop them? Because they have been so patient. They have played together so incredibly well, and now they might be able to finish this one off.
We talk about that huge death timer, still over 20 seconds on Clearlove. Clearlove's not going to be involved in this fight, and now you can see Wicked just drilling home. The difference of having Jace and Yellow Pete in there, they can just have a double AD attack. They are stacking out, and those inhibitors are just getting dropped like flies. Weezhou's going to be careful he doesn't get pulled up. They're just going to back away from this one, say job done. When 2 inhibitors are down, it is very, very hard to come back from. And CLG.EU realize they have a very strong position. Clearlove now back up, and CLG are going to just go, thank you very much, we'll go by.
At least for Froggen now, his item build is completely finished. He's going to go back to base and power up on elixirs. Now that they have 2 inhibitors finished, it's time to turn on the game-ending machine. They're going to take probably the bottom inhibitor next when there's 2 waves of super minions pushing into a team's base. The 3rd inhibitor is usually likely to follow as long as the team just groups up in that spot. Yellow Pete picks up a red buff. Xiaomei trying to hold off. These guys are nearly at max items, so that gold doesn't matter. The kills don't matter. What does matter is the team comp, the players, how they finish.
So as you hear, the inhibitor is going to be respawning in that mid lane. A couple of items, Guardian Angels, of course, starting to get picked up across the board. Definitely the late game items of choice. 500 plus CS for Xiaomei now. Weezhou, sorry. Xiaomei starting to farm up like a pro as well, and wow, such huge numbers, as you'd expect in a 54-minute game. CLG on the attack. Clearlove again has to be careful. He doesn't get caught out. That's going to be the speed buff used. Clearlove is going to get caught. He's going to have the shield. He's got a Guardian Angel. It is not going to matter. It's going to get popped back up in a moment, but he is going down from this one. There's no way. Even with a flash, the Shen ultimate is going to get dropped down. Shen ultimate now waiting. That's going to be an excellent point straight across. Messiah gets dropped. Weezhou, look at the damage. He is just getting choked down. CLG a third match in this best of 3 series. Chaume going to respawn off the Guardian Angels. He's going to get dropped off the back of that one. They don't give a hell about him. Now, I had to adopt my words there, but he's going to get taken down. The Nexus turrets are being attacked. They're going to tank it up. CLG.EU are taking it to game 3.
And finally, at the end of it, they do come ahead on kills and on goals, so this is incredible.
The crowd are on their feet, the team are on their front feet, and CLG, you see what it means to them. The crowd are chanting their name, and that's got to feel good after such a long delay, Jack.